Morning world. Surprise, surprise. It's raining again. Well, the weatherman did forecast it wasn't going to be very nice today, and unfortunately he got it right. Yeah, he got it right. I've had a bit of a scrape around this morning, clear out some of the SH1T from the yard, give him a fresh bale. No more calves yet. There's the little bull calf. Happy little fella. I was about to bed this out in here, but as it's piddling down again, what I'll do, because that means chucking the calf outside. The bed isn't bad, it's just wants refreshing, so I will let this shower go over, and then they can all come out here. Probably give me 10-15 minutes. I'll give them a clean bed and then go back in again. So they are happy, got a new bale. I don't know what it was with that bale in there. Didn't want it. Didn't want it. I mean, they will eat it, especially if I chuck it out on the floor. They'll definitely eat it then. But yeah, anyway, it is 10:15. Well, early cup of tea. It was going to be 11 o'clock, but it's going to be 10:15. All right, I urge you. All right, you can have your breakfast first, then I'll have a cup of tea. Is that all right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, he's had to get some more. Excuse me, thank you. Anyway. Well, Shane and the boys came back yesterday. They were going to have a tidy up, move this pile of soil here and that one up there, but I said, look, at the end of the day, there's no point in trying to get the dumper in and out and tipping it out there and tracking it up. They'll spend an hour and a half tidying this up and have to come back and do another 2 or 3 hours to tidy up the tracks. So for the time being, we're going to look at the digger and piles of soil. So I'd rather do that than do more damage to the ground. So the digger will have to go eventually, and like I said to Shane, at the end of the day, worst comes to worst, I've got one, you know, and a dumper, so we can always shift it ourselves if we have to. But there you go. So I came down this morning to let the birds out, and I thought, oh, I could just hear the pump whirring on the new tank. So I'm thinking, oh, I've obviously come down in that moment when it's on for five minutes. So while I was in, then one of the pups went missing. I think it was Pepper went missing. She got through the hedge outside. And so about 10 minutes later I came back, I thought, it's still running. I can still hear it. Actually, Biscuit, come here. You stay that side, because that is mucky in there, and you'll just complain that you won't be allowed back in the lounge again. All right, just stay there. So I took the lid off, and the pump was whirring. And it was counting down to like 27 minutes on the timer, so there's a little timer on there. So back up the house, get the instructions, come back down. Right, obviously the timer's not set right, so reset the timer. But it turns out, or what it appears, is the pump never actually really switches off. I'll just come down there to see if I can hear it again. But there's a little valve in it that switches to actually pumping into the tank. No, he's still going. So is that right? do they pump or run all the time constant? Is that right? $56.50. So he's obviously not long come off of pumping in, but the pump's still running. Okay. That's on, that's okay. That's in there. I shall have to do some investigation, because to my way of thinking, if it's only pumping air into the tanks for 5 minutes in every hour, why does it need to be on 24/7? That don't make sense to me. It don't sound very efficient. So either something's not right, not set right, or we've made an error. Right, I'll make some phone calls. Got some of these, mate? Yeah, I thought you might. Bertolini likes crab apples. I can't put too many on the floor because so do the pups. And crab apples and doggies' digestive systems, they don't really get on very well. So you can have a gizzard full, and that's it for now. He's all the low ones he's actually plucked. We actually watched him, but it was too far away to film it. He would come out here and he'd be looking up at the tree and he'd be bouncing up and down, just picking the ones he could reach. But he can't reach them now, so I just throw it in someone down there. So a bit of bad news for Land Rover cherry picker yesterday. Those of you who've been following us will know that we had to have a new clutch put in it a week or so back. So that's the gearbox off, all the hydraulics disconnected. Quite a big job. New clutch, new flywheel, so we haven't put the dual mass flywheel back in, put the solid flywheel back in, and here, put it all back together. Guys took it out yesterday to use it, and when they put the pump into gear and stuck it in fourth gear, as usual, it was making a racket. So it turns out now there's a bearing going on the lay shaft, which means probably I've got to take it all apart again. I could have done without that because it was a 4-figure number to repair it and put the clutch in last time, and I'm imagining it's going to be a 4-figure number to repair it again now. So we're without a cherry picker again. I mean, we were without it for 2 weeks last time. We're not going to be without it for 2 weeks again. So it's kind of got the point. We use our cherry pickers a lot. A lot of tree surgeons won't use them because apparently it's not very manly to use a cherry picker, and they like to climb trees, which is fine. If that's how you're wired up, brilliant. But for us, we can do more in less time, and I've only got to tick one health and safety box with Lola, or 2 if you include the harness, rather than all the Lola you have to have for climbing in trees. So, and there are many places that will not let you up a tree. They only want you with a cherry picker. So we've been known locally for the last 10-15 years as one of the few tree companies around here with our own cherry picker. So we can't really afford to be without one. But the thing is he's what, 14 years old now. Do I have to bite the bullet and buy another one? I don't really want to, because that would be an unexpected cost, and basically what I've just spent on our digester would probably pay for 2/3 of a cherry picker. So Mrs. P was there last night. Ooh, perhaps we shouldn't have put that in, but that was a job that had to be done. We needed to do that. When you've got nasty, black, horrible stuff coming up in your lawn, and you've got grandchildren that have just stopped crawling and they're going to be running around next year, we couldn't have that. So there was lots of reasons to do that. There's also lots of reasons to sort something out with the cherry picker now. I'm going to sit on it for a minute, but I've already started looking. So I'm going to use this. So any companies out there that sell cherry pickers are looking for something 3.5 ton that everybody can drive, and got to be a minimum of 13 meters, the same as our Land Rover. I found a couple Milton Keynes way, and I found some up Northwhere, but I think the Land Rover ones are going for around about anything half decent between 20 and 25,000. Bigger budget than I want to spend, but if needs must, you got to do what you got to do. So it's just with Brexit, COVID, question marks over work and stuff like that, you know, it's all risk in it, all risk. And yeah, life's no fun without a few little risks. Right. I need to get up there. I reckon the way our fire is drawing at the moment, the very tip of our chimney has coked over again. But is it dry enough for me to go climbing up on our roof? I think I'll probably wait for Mrs. P to come home before I go up there, just in case I fall off. I'm not going to fall off, but you know, just in case.